Hi there guys, well probably just like you, I have just finished watching the event. I've come straight into the studio, finished around about 45 minutes ago. I've got all of the points as they happened and we're going to run through all of those in this video. So sit down, get ready and let's get into it. So earlier today, in anticipation of the event, the store was down on the Apple website. That's not unusual. They often shut the store down on the day leading up to the event. Obviously, there's a lot of backroom work going on, getting all the new products ready for launch, but the store is back up now. So if you fancy getting the plastic out, you can do it right away. But watch this video first. So first up on stage, when Tim Cook came out, he talked about Apple TV Plus. There wasn't a great deal to talk about there. There's a little bit of a pat on the back saying all the great programs they've either made or got coming up, some of the Oscar nominations that some of the actors have had, like Denzel Washington. The only thing of note that they did mention was that now you're going to be able to get Friday Night Baseball. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I did mention on one of my videos that they have been expressing a lot of interest of getting into live sport. They're in talks still to try and get football. There was no mention of the football coverage, but they're starting off, as we kind of suspected, with Friday Night Baseball. They didn't make it clear whether that's going to be part of your Apple Plus TV subscription. I think it is, because otherwise I'm sure they would have mentioned it. Don't take it for gospel though, but Friday Night Football is certainly one of the first things that they mentioned on the stage and was kind of a little precursor to what was about to come. Okay, then we started getting serious. We got into the iPhone and they started off with colours. We had heard over the weekend that there was going to be one new colour. It turned out there was two new colours that we were getting. On the iPhone 13 and 13 mini, you can get a colour simply called green. And if you want to go for the 13 Pro or 13 Pro Max, you can get a lovely colour that's called Alpine Green. And those colours, along with most of the products they announced on the event this evening, are going to be available from the 18th of March. So what's that, about a week away? But certainly those two colours are available now to order on the website. And as I say, two new colours on iPhone. The iPhone SE was next up, and as we suspected, no great surprises there. It's getting the A15 Bionic chip inside of it, and also with 5G, and once again is available from Friday, the 18th of March. It's going to be a busy day, the 18th of March. And the other shoe-in, the absolute lock-in that we knew we were going to get at this event for quite a few weeks now, was the iPad Air. Once again, no major surprises. It's got the M1 chip in it with the 8-core design. It's still going to retain the 10.9-inch Retina display. It's getting the 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera on the front, which means now it has got center stage. So all of the iPads have now got center stage. And once again, it's going to come with 5G and also with a USB Type-C connector, which means that transfers are going to be 2 times faster than currently. Prices start at around about $599 or pounds, and you can get it in 2 storage versions, either the 64 gig or the 256 gig version, and guess when they're available. And one last app that got to mention before we get into the real big stars and big hitters of this event was that iMovie is getting a new version. It's going to be available in April with new storyboards, transitions, and I believe there's going to be some extra music in there as well. So all you budding movie makers or video makers, I better watch my back. You're going to have a new version of iMovie available sometime in April. Right, it's time we get into the big stars of this show. So over the weekend, we heard the first rumours about Mac Studio, and it came true. The renders that Luke Miani put out yesterday on Twitter and on Sam Cole's Apple Track were absolutely spot on. These machines look stunning, and we were delivered both the monitor and indeed the Mac itself. Inside the Mac, it's going to be run by a chip called the M1 Ultra. 20-core CPU, up to 64-core GPU, 128 gigs of unified memory are available, and you can even go up to 8 terabytes of storage if you want it. And if you go for that config, sit down, you're going to have to splash out £7,999. But hey, the good news is it's available now. And if you've got a spare £8,000, I will give you my bank details. It sounds like a beautiful machine, and it is going to be fast and very, very energy efficient too. All through the event, they kept mentioning their statement of the environment and how committed they are to it. And all of these machines are delivering unbelievable, eye-watering speed with a lot less energy being used. They kept coming back to that time and time again. It's designed to be a modular device and set up the whole Mac Studio system. And they did go into some of the ports that you're going to be getting. It's going to have a two 2 USB Type-C ports on the front, along with the SD card slots. So they're all front loading. Then on the back, you're going to have 4 Thunderbolt USB-C type connectors, a 10 gig Ethernet connector, HDMI, a Pro audio jack as per on the MacBook Pro. So if you've got high-end headphones, you'll be able to connect via them and listen to music in lossless. And it's also going to have Bluetooth. And now onto the studio display. It comes with smaller bezels than we first thought it may have. It tilts back to an angle of 30 degrees. You can get various mounts for it, including a Vaser mount if you want to mount it vertically on your desk. It's got 14.7 million pixels in it. It's a 5K display, 27 inches diagonally the display measures, and it's got 600 nits of brightness and P3 wide color as well. It does also have True Tone in it, and it comes with an A13 chip inside. Now, there's a couple of things we weren't expecting. For the first time ever on a Mac, it's got a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera in, which means it has got center stage, and it's got 3 mics as well. So if you're using this display for conference calls, you've got a great setup there. And I say the first time you've seen center stage on a Mac. And they've given it a full set of speakers as well. There's 6 speakers in there. You're going to have 4 woofers and 2 tweeters, and it's got support for spatial audio. So it's going to be just a complete desk setup. This studio range of Macs is going to be stunning, what with the Mac itself and this display, a 5K display with 6 speakers in it, spatial audio. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It's also got connectivity. There's 3 USB Type-C connectors on the back of it, and there's also a Thunderbolt connector, which will charge a MacBook Pro up via its 96 watt power charger. So it's a multifunctional display with loads of connectivity as well. And they've also released some new keyboards to go with it as well. It's now in silver and black, and you can get the silver and black in the mouse, trackpad and keyboard as well. So the display actually, I think, is really attractively priced at £1,599, available 18th March, as I say. But $1,599 for a 27-inch 5K display with True Tone, I think is really good value for money. We all know that we struggle to find a decent monitor to go with Mac, so I think that is an absolute, that they pitched that very, very cleverly. I think that's a really enticing display to go look for. As for the Mac itself, clearly aimed at the professional users. As they were announcing it, I was thinking back to the announcements last year of the MacBook Pro and roughly where they'd be putting this one. Well, it doesn't come cheap. I put together something in the shopping basket for you. I didn't click buy, by the way. Didn't click buy. But if you were to select the 20-core CPU with 64-core GPU, 128 gigs of unified memory and 8 terabytes of storage, yeah, £7,999 plus £1,500 or £1,600 for the display. So quickly doing the maths, you would have just spent £9,600 on a Mac and a display. But it is modular, so you can buy what you want, and the prices do start cheaper for the Mac Studio. I was just speccing it all the way up with 8 terabytes of storage. I've never used a machine with that much storage on it, but these things are clearly aimed at the pro user. And just at the end of the event, they gave us that little peek forward, which possibly was what they're meaning on the invite about the Mac Pro, but they said that's for another event. So clearly that is coming later this year, and that was kind of everything that we got at the event this year. So just going back, we got details about Apple TV and Friday Night Baseball. We got 2 new colors on the iPhone. We got the iPhone SE, the iPad Air. A new version of iMovie is coming. Then we got into the Mac Studio and the Mac Studio display as well. I hope you enjoyed the event. Let me know if you did. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. And don't forget, if you're enjoying these videos, do make sure you're subscribed. There's plenty coming up, so turn on all notifications so you don't miss another one of these videos. And let me know in the comments what of these items attracted you the most. What are you going to go and buy? Better get in there quick. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of action on Apple's websites. Thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.